I tried to log in last time, the server wasn't going. I'm going to be putting on some new music. This is from one of the guys from the server. He's also a Hive member also. My buddy Nod Zest. He's been also doing a lot of videos, like little quick stuff on TikTok, and he's been creating a whole new channel on YouTube. So you can check him out, Nod Zest. I'm going to be putting his link to the music that I'm going to be playing. It's about, I believe, 12 tracks that I got, 11 or 12 tracks that I got from his SoundCloud account, and I'm going to be playing it through the SoundCloud app. You'll see the name of each piece. It's a lot of trance and drum and synth music, but it's pretty cool stuff. Like, it's really good. Like if you're playing Catalyst Black and you're running through stuff and you're playing good rhythm and good beats. So it's what I'm probably going to be using. I found out there's like a bunch of guys I know that are actual musicians. I dabble in it, like I play guitar, but and I play every once in a while with GarageBand on iOS, and I used to on my Mac. But these guys are like another level. Some of them are actual musicians with instruments. Not Zest is through what do you call it, GarageBand, but the stuff he produces, like, it's way better than anything I can do. A lot very similar to stuff like you hear. Some of the background music I use here is from a guy called Kevin MacLeod, and it's really good too. So I'm going to be playing that in the background while we're going over the patch notes, and probably when we start playing the game. Let me just add in his information. I'm going to put the link in. I just got to make sure this thing doesn't stop me. Control V. Yeah, so that's not just SoundCloud, and you get to hear some of the tracks that I'm going to be playing. Like the first track is called Liquid Body, Badhai. So you can check that stuff out there. Right before I do that, I'm going to go on to the Discord and let folks know that I'm actually streaming. And once the gameplay comes on, and I'm going to try to read this a little bit more carefully because there's certain things like I didn't understand, and some folks explained to me. Rocket launchers seem like to be problematic, but again, stuff looks better on paper sometimes than it actually is in practice. So it's just worrying because it's like shades of 0.13 again, even though with a little bit of a modification. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start his music with this song, Liquid Body. Let me move it all the way back. And I'm going to be right back. the new patch. So first thing I know about the new patch is they sped it up. So the speed should be like when you were using the whatchamacallit, the Tetrad with its 15 speed plus a few other stuff. You felt like you were going pretty fast. So if you got a few speed boosts, you felt like you were going fast. It's gonna feel kind of like about 10% faster than when you were just using the Tetrad by itself. So what they just did is the balance update is here. We're continuing to push forward with the worldwide launch. We want to ensure that the base combat is in its best form. Movement speed is up and health is down, making combat flow more fast-paced. Weapons and primals are seeing a massive change across the board, provided a wide range of viable layout options, possibilities. Yeah, man, what's up? Sure, I can do that. Hold on. Is that better with the music? And I can also push my voice higher. But is that better with the music, NKL? Because I pushed it about... Yeah, it's a lot down compared to the music. I still can bring it down a little. Don't worry about it. Like, I mean, I can control all of that, so I can bring it down. Should be better now too. And I'll push my voice up a little bit higher. A little bit up, you said? Hold on. Right there. Okay, hold on. How about now? Alright. I hope that's good. But like they said, what they wanted to do is they wanted to get the weapons and the primals seeing a massive change across the board and make a range of viable loadouts options possible. On the progression side, we're taking your feedback into account and we tune the cost of chests as well as infusions. We appreciate your quick testing and will continue to iterate the system as needed. Additionally, the new might stat and the loadout screen provide a glimpse into the strength of your equipped gear. Just a few months, Catalyst Back will be available for everyone, and we will have a unique opportunity to look back and say you shaped the game. Pretty neat. Going fast, keeping up with the group action, and provide difficulty for players, especially in modes with large team sizes, allowing for multiple convergence points around the map. It is important for Catalyst Black gameplay, and providing quicker access is core to facilitating that identity. Together, these changes an increase of overall speed of the game.
Hey, I'm Couture, and a little thing I love about
it's got ads, bastards.
It kind of melts in your mouth, so you know it's creamy, cheesy, and delicious. Order dinner.
Sorry, I don't want to hear the ads. So, is the voice fine, or you said the voice should be higher, or should the music be lower? 15% more, a little higher with the music, maybe 15% more, like 15% more. Let's see if we can get 15% more. Okay, ad is over. How's that? Is that good? Yeah, because I can keep, like I said, I can keep tweaking it. So the base movement speed is being increased by 25%. That was like needed like 4 patches ago. So I'm happy about that. Firing will no longer slow you unless you are using a sniper rifle. If it's the way it's been, I don't care, because the sniper rifle, I don't really feel the snow that much anymore when I shoot. So I'm fine with that. Sniper rifle, assault rifle. When you're releasing a lot of assault rifle shots, you slow down. It ain't horrible. The chain gun, it's supposed to be a minigun, huh, guys? But the chain gun also, and the flamethrower. I'm not exactly sure why I'm slow setting out a bunch of flame at you, but I am. Don't know. It wasn't always there. It's kind of annoying. Hopefully with the speed, I'll be able to kite backwards and actually use the brighten effectively, because they also gave it more damage. So we'll see. Progression tuning. Yeah, they basically said Moon Chest will give you more XP, higher ratio, meaning that more shards, more XP per shard. Infusion and duplicates have been reduced for 8, 9, and 10. Still high for all the others, so who knows how that's going to work out. Ascension points gained have been increased through all the modes again. So we'll see how that works out too. And progression method expand both visually and functionally is coming in updates. We want to make sure all aspect is clear and rewarding, and let us know and try and tune the goal. The biggest problem they have in the game is the progression is just too freaking high. Like every other game that has progression, the progression is building on top of the numbers that are literally sitting there. This is the only game I see that every time you start progression, it's like you're starting at 0. And there's that freezing thing again. Ah, jeez. There's that freezing thing again. Yep, I don't know what the heck is causing that. Yeah, so that's the only thing I think is the biggest problem with the game. They gotta, and if they're gonna keep it that high, the campaign quest has to give you almost like markers in between. Like every time you do 2,500, when you do 2,500, they give you something. When you do 5,000 ascension points, they give you something. When you do 10,000 ascension points, they give you something. And then restart at 2,500 again. Because this way, it makes all of those things that you're going through, at least you can see that you're gaining some kind of progress. And in your head, even if you're not looking at that stupid ascension track, you know that it's coming down, because in those milestones, you're getting something in between. That's pretty much what they need to do, because they can make it as high as they want, but it shouldn't be unrewarding until you basically finish the whole thing, especially when they're extremely, extremely high. Once you reach 15,000, it starts becoming insane, because before they made this change, it was like 11,000, and you actually were getting a bunch of other stuff besides it. So, I mean, you were getting ascension points from upgrading gear, infusing gear, from getting new gear. You were getting ascension points everywhere, and it was way lower than it is right now. And you were getting twice as much ascension points for every game mode you completed. So you quadruple it, and then half how much ascension points I have in every other method of getting it. I don't see how that's even feasible. So that's what they just got to basically figure out. So I just wasted my time getting to 2180. Had it for about 2 days, and now Arsenal level's gone. Yay! So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to keep track of your Forge Master status anymore, but I know at least I have it. And unique username's the only other person who's reached 2,000 so far that I've seen. So let's just do balance changes, right? Over the past few weeks, we've been examining the primal meta closely. I'll just tell you, they made a mistake. They fixed Dread, and Dread wasn't the problem. It was Spite. So Jenks is still going to have the same issue that he had before. He heals really easily. And there are tricks with Spite that I know. So if you have Jenks and you're using Primal Fire, you hit something really tanky, Primal Fire, transform it to Jenks, you just keep healing until Primal Fire ends. It's that simple. Like, and it does so much damage so fast. Jenks is going to keep healing every time Spite does it. The issue is, when you use Corral, Spite activates when you damage something. When you stab somebody, it does damage. When it explodes, it does damage. Spite, 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 Spite. You keep getting Spite back. It's Spite that's the issue, not Dread. Dread was already hard to use. Nerfing Dread didn't fix the Jenks problem. It's a Spite issue. Oh well. They think Torton is doing good, so they are fixing them up. They increased Sunder's movement speed some more. Don't know why, but he was already fast. They increased Isia's movement speed. She felt like, if you were playing Lumia Isia, she felt like a jet compared to Isia. So both of them now being way faster than they were before, it's gonna be pretty neat. Um, the idea is you reduce all of the primal health, which is logical if you're gonna make them last damn near forever. And their cooldowns, it takes longer for them to get to primal. But yet, if you're playing Seeker, Primalist, Acolyte traits, so on and so forth, it's not gonna be that much of an issue. You just run and get your stuff. Playing Ring of the Veil, it drops off 22 to 30 seconds every kill. Mine's at 20. It's 30 seconds every time I kill something if I'm using Ring of the Veil. Getting in primal ain't gonna be hard. So, I don't know. They decreased the basic attack, which is a good idea. It's so fast and you're doing so much damage. Yeah, it doesn't need to basically eviscerate everything. Primal Roar cooldown. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be great, but we'll see. Because you still got to think about it. Primal Roar's duration is maybe around 6 seconds. 6 or 7 seconds. So the way it used to work, your Primal Roar would be ready to go before it ended. So I think what this is, so yeah, it's almost 9 seconds. So you're going to have to wait maybe 2 or 3 seconds before you can activate it again. It shouldn't be too bad. Again, they're reducing damage for Janks, but increasing it for Corral. Corral's a pain in the ass. Savage Charge, that's nice. The damage, that's a good idea. The Dread damage and the Dread heal wasn't the issue. It was Spite. But oh well. Maybe they'll catch it next patch. So what they did with Isia is they increased her cooldowns for everything. Almost 2 seconds in most cases. Like, it feels like it was 8 point something. So 1.4 seconds, 1.6 seconds, 1.8 seconds, and a full 1.4 seconds. So there you go. So they just made everything take a little longer. But the duration of the vortex lasts longer. So it's not that bad. It ain't horrible. Glacier Torrent cooldown. Shot, you have to wait half a second more. It's going to feel slow as hell because you're going to go shoot and then you're going to expect to shoot again and you're not going to get it and you're going to shoot again, then it's going to come out. The timing has to be relearned. It's going to be a little bit weird. Torden, they just jacked him up. They made him faster, which he needed because I used to have Primal Sprinter on this bad boy and it was legendary. So my Torden used to be freaking fast. This is faster, but it ain't that great. I would think Kedrick class would be kind of cool if it also spread up the Primal when people were in its range. Then it would actually help out Torden because Torden's slow as F naturally. So it's gonna be kind of cool. Like Kendrick class might be a really good ability to be using now as a primalist, which is kind of nice. Let's see what you have here. Guardian cooldown has been increased. Enter the Storm has been made stronger with like its radius. It lasts longer. So the one thing that a lot of people don't know, the perk on the Rush or on the Trial, one of the two of them, if an enemy is shielded, that gun does more damage. So while Torden's providing all this shield and you tanky as F, guns like that, their infusion actually starts making that hurt. Like being shielded ain't a good thing. So I gotta see if I can get that. Knock, they increased their speed. Thanks goodness. Their damage was increased. That's also necessary. And the cooldown, they brought it down by 0.4. So we'll see. We'll see. It might still have to come down to like 0.5, but we'll see. We got to play some of it just to see like how these work out. So gear, they finally gave the Lost Dreamer more punch, more damage again, because it's coming down from the damage I remember it at when I maxed that gun out, which was literally 413, and I think I had 20 shots. And to me, I prefer hitting you hard, less bullets, and then waiting for that reload. I didn't mind. So we'll see how this works out. Maybe it's gonna play better. I don't know. I'm not sure why they increased the shot speed of the Renegade. I didn't think the Renegade needed a buff or a nerf per se. So I'm not sure if this is gonna be super strong or it's not gonna really make a difference. We'll find out. Battle rifle Sincerity's finally been giving that some damage, or giving some damage. Commotion, they basically also buffed its damage, so it's actually a worthy gun. Tetrad, they finally nerfed it a little. The range, it's a mistake, because the one thing Tetrad had that was special out of all of those guns before, when it used to be weak as F, was its longer range. It actually outranged the Sincerity, it outranged the Lost Dreamer by 0.1. I mean by 1 meter. By a whole meter. So those guns were at 10.8. It was at 11.6 or 11.8. Or even at one point at 11.2. They could have kept it as the longest range of the rifles. That's not a sniper. This, I don't know if this is a logical change. Because for people who have it infused, it ain't gonna hurt us. For people who don't have it infused, they're dead. That's just a fact. If it ain't infused to level 4, you're screwed. This gun's unplayable. How do I know? Because I used to play it as a long poke weapon, and its only way it worked really well was as a long distance. Close up, not so much. You're dead. This gun does not work until it's infused. So that is too far of a range drop. If it was 11.6, 11 point something, sure. But it cannot win in fights where it's gotta be close. It's going to die. Not infused, this gun is useless. It's utterly useless, uninfused. The dispatch, they finally upped the damage after taking all that damn ammo away. They gave back 3. Reactivation delay, they made it slower. So I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be better or not. At least there seems to be no handoff between the dispatch and the commotion. So we might have some of that action where we used to do the gun weave, where you actually bled energy off stuff, because at least you got ammo. Like, I mean, 6 is decent. I don't know why it was even dropped in the first place. To be honest with you, the dispatch was just a solid gun. It wasn't too powerful, it wasn't too weak. Maybe Busy might have just thrown that off track by playing it too much, but it wasn't OP for most players. And I used to play it, and I died as much as I killed stuff with it. So I'm not 100% sure. They brought down the health of players from 3,200 to 2,500. Welcome. They also increased the amount of time between when you're shooting to get your mega kills, your omega kills, because the 7 seconds, it just wasn't working. Nobody was actually reaching that stuff, so that's neat to know. So they're just basically saying what we saw. They buffed those guns because they were super weak. They nerfed this into the ground because it was super strong. Yay. Dispatch, we'll see. I don't know yet. Chain guns. Hey, they're called chain guns again instead of miniguns. See, these are good names. So damage is welcome. Clip size, I don't get why this thing keeps getting more bullets. Reload time has dropped precipitously. It's going to be fast. You know what its major problem is? It has no damn range. But we'll see. Maybe all this stuff will help. Where all it needs is to get into the 9.5 meters or 9.3 meters like it was before they dropped it to 8.8. Because 8.8 was a low key nerf that nobody noticed, and I only noticed it because I've been tracking its range.
Best season? Birds chirping, flowers blooming.
No ads. I've been tracking its range for a while, so I've been watching the range just drop. It went from 10.6 to 10 to 10 to 9.8, 9.3, 8.8. And the 2 drops in its range to 9.3 and 8.8 were never mentioned anywhere. Only reason I know this because I knew what the range was previous patch. So, because what will happen is I'm playing the gun and I'm just like, bro, why can't I hit anything? What's going on? Why is it so hard to do stuff? And then I look at the stuff, I'm like, yo, this thing lost range. So it was weird. That's why. It's simple stuff. You guys are reducing its range, and you're not telling anybody. It's pretty easy to see how it's going to fail. It literally has no ability to kill anything from a slight distance. You got to be up close. What do you want? And you don't want to give it damage. What do you think's going to happen? That gun was getting manhandled by every other gun. What's supposed to happen is once that thing is on full spin, if there's two people in front of you and you just aim it across them, they should be erased. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it was working from 0.12 to 0.14. Then 0.15, for some bizarre reason, the gun just became super weak. Like, I mean, any battle rifle could beat it. Any what do you call it, assault rifle could beat it. Even on full spin. It was damn near embarrassing. Shotguns run up, pop, 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 dead. It's bizarre. That's another thing. The Vanguard banner just doesn't sustain like it used to. Back in the day, man, somebody had a real good Vanguard running. They were damn near unkillable until they ran out of bullets. So it kind of sucks that they can't do that anymore. You'll never get me to agree that it's fair for a whole archetype of weapons get slows for free, and then you're gonna tell me I gotta infuse it to get it on my heavy weapon. We'll never agree on this. I think this is the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'll never agree to it. I just think it's stupid. If you're gonna give these things slow for free, these super strong slows for nothing, why am I having to infuse to get a slow for a negate siren? Why? Why am I infusing to get explosions for a mutiny song? Why? So, as long as that's what it's going to be, as long as you're going to have these guns in there, and you're going to tell me a slow can be provided for free, that has nothing to do with anything than just because you wanted to give a class something, it does not make sense to me. Why are you making me infuse slows for guns that should have it naturally? Or you're making me infuse, what do you call it, explosions for a gun that should have it naturally? Why not just give them those things, but weak, and then if you want to get fancy, make them stronger as you infuse? Why are you making me have to earn them, and you give it for free for these guns? Hey man, what's up? They're finally giving the facade more damage. Great. They're increasing its range. Double fantastic. Shot speed, great again. Slow for enemies, stupid. Dumb. I don't get it. Fall off, damage removed. Basically, they were telling you if you were further away, the guns did less damage. Why? No one knows. It's not like they were super strong anyway, so doing that, it was really weird. They're getting rid of that. That's great. They increased the Miser's damage back, finally, but they made its reactivation delay slower, so prepare for slow Misers, everyone. Yay! And they got rid of half of its ammo, and they increased its range. Yeah, I guess. And the bullets are faster. All right. But it takes longer to shoot them. Oh, no. Yeah, I still don't agree to the slow. Handling delay, it's 0.1 second. So every time you switch between your Miser and your facade, which is really what you want to do with guns that shoot as slow as the Miser shoots now, you gotta wait 0.1 of a second. So you still can do it. It's just not as fast as it used to be. But I guess maybe it'll be better. We'll find out. Those slows, though, no. The slows, hell no. No, 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 and no again. As long as you're going to create a class of weapons. Because here's what I'm explaining. There is another flat cannon coming. I believe it's called the Fire Script. Or the Paradigm. One of the two is a flat cannon. Do you know they get a slow too? Because they're a flat cannon? What? It doesn't make sense though. And here's what pisses me off. The the Mutiny song had an explosion when I basically first got the gun. So how are you going to tell me you're going to give the Tetrad this amazing infusion, and you guys really can't tell me you couldn't think of an infusion that could work for the Mutiny song? Just one simple infusion. A shield. A speed boost. Anything. Crit. Give it a crit as an infusion. It gets a crit on its third shot. It's basically a poison shiv in gun form. That's a better infusion than an explosion. It's an assassin's weapon. Crit for an assassin's weapon. Great infusion. An exploding bullet? Not a really good one. Ay, ay, ay. It finally can do more damage. Shocking. It's faster. It shoots quicker. That's good. Shot speed's faster. I ain't gonna say no to that. I don't understand what it means by shot per second decreased. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it now. It makes sense. You used to be able to push out 11 of those little pellet shots. Now you're only pushing out 9. Yeah. It took a while. See, this is what happens when you read it a second time. So, we'll see. It's my favorite gun. I've been using it since 0.10. When the hell ever they put it in. I've been using it flat. I've leveled it from level 6 to level 20. I've gotten it to level 3 infusion. I got it to level 5 infusion. It still works. Hopefully now, when somebody comes at me with the Brighton, I don't auto die if I don't have my Renegade ready to shoot them. Maybe I'll be able to kill people with the Brighton again, which will be nice. Because what's been happening this last patch is soon as somebody comes up with me, or the last two or three patches, somebody comes up with me, I'm shooting with the Brighton. 0.16 kind of screwed everything up when everybody's health jumped up higher, and the Brighton was still doing the same amount of damage. And the bots can dodge the flames. Like, let's say if you take your Brighton and you're shooting it left and right and creating that pretty S pattern, the bots can dance in between the S. And I'm just like, what? The weirdest thing I've ever seen. Those things just dodge around the flame like no human can. But the bots won't get hit by it. And then if the one thing about the Brighton that's interesting is its flame lingers. Even when it disappears, you can still walk into it and get damaged. Like the heat that's left over is pretty strong. Because the shots from the Dreadnoughts and the Meganauts, they fire their beam. The beam disappears and you walk into the area like 0.2 seconds after it's gone, you still die. It's happened to me way more than I can even count. So it's a thing. Whoops. I gotta rewind this song. Do 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 do. Hit play. Indeed. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe people will be able to play it now. The Mortars, they got killed. All the Mortars just got punched in the face. But they all fall faster now. All I could just say is with the heavy ones, their range should be 13, 14, 15, something. To me, I don't see how you can have a mortar which is using a parabola. What do you call it? A parabola. I know the word. It has to do with parabolas. Parabolic arc to shoot. Parabolic, yeah, a parabolic arc to shoot. That actually gives you more distance than anything. So when you launching something and it's arcing, you can get it to go further than just shooting it straight, because gravity is still working on both things. Unless the velocity is super fast, the bullet falls quicker. But if you're arcing the shot, it can go way farther. Heavy mortar should have a longer range. 11 doesn't make sense. That's that. Alright, onward. Like, all they just keep doing is the Lumia Arrival is just losing more and more damage every patch. I don't see how that's a fix. I don't see how that's a good thing. This is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Oh, wow. Demiloon does more damage than the Hellstrom. What? It's 6 bundle does more now. Oh, it's always done more. Look at you, Demiloon. Oh, they finally added the fall off, so I see what it means. If you're not in the center, you don't take as much damage. Then why did you take away the damage that it had? Woo! Kind of sucks. Code of Fusion constant, and Mutiny Song got slowed. Like, Mutiny Song is the only gun that got buffed to a point where it's just like the buff seemed unfair. Like, if you were to kill something and you were getting ammo back for it, when you kill with the Mutiny Song, you literally just get like 70% of your ammo back. It was kind of weird, but they changed the way the what do you call it, the bracer of dedication works, so it doesn't really matter that much anymore. And also everything is at level 10, so that ain't gonna be that big of a deal. I'm wondering if this music is actually kicking my butt, because it's also streaming. We'll see. Let's see when this moves. So, shots no longer explode upon reaching max damage. They must impact terrain or an enemy to detonate. So you can still shoot into walls to kill people. So you just gotta hit something. And the aim at rockets is kind of weird, because no matter where you aim with a rocket, the rocket's always a little slower than where you're aiming. So we'll see. Yeah, they need a. I don't fully understand it, why they don't want to do.
Sure, it's your furniture and
I don't know
electronics
why
and
they don't
appliances,
want to
but
do it
console
though,
plug-
but in the greater scheme of things, it really does need the range increase. I don't get it. But they gave them that 0.13 reach, and they still have that they have their damage was nearly doubled for every single one of them, because now if they don't hit something, they get to hit you twice as hard, I guess. Yeah. Heretic. AoE is now 5 meters. Fall off starts at 50. Damage increase at 50. I'm not exactly sure what that means. But I'm never gonna understand how the rush and the trial do more damage than the accelerator. It doesn't make sense to me. But then why are you calling this a heavy? Shouldn't you just swap them out? Put the accelerator as the primary, and then put the rush as the heavy, or even the trial. Either one makes more sense. The numbers never made sense to me on that gun. Heavy in what way? It shoots fast? Sounds like a light gun to me. It's just the weirdest thing in the world. They will no longer explode automatically at the end of their path, but will only explode on impacting terrain such as a wall or an obstacle or an enemy target. Along this change, large damage boost as well as range and explosive radius. This makes them more powerful against clustered targets or enemies in narrow areas, and prevent them from being used as an area denial weapon. Use flak. They're much better now. The activation delay for the many rocket launchers have been increased to prevent their instant use for point blank burst damage. So, none of them were specifically really good at point blank burst damage. None of them. They just weren't. You would think. But here's why I say that, right? How do you beat the how did you beat the rush? How did you beat the trial? You had to gap close on them and then just shoot them with a freaking shotgun, battle rifle, assault rifle, name a rifle. That's how you beat them. Or a sniper rifle at range. Just tap, tap, tap. Take them out. You don't beat no damn rush at distance. Once you close, they can't fire fast enough to stop you. That was the fit. That was how I used to stop them, I guess. But because the reason I say that too, think back to 0.13. What was the meta to beat them, right? That ungodly powerful caretaker and protection. You just roll into them with protection, take the first few shots, pop, pop, dead. They didn't survive after your second shot because you were doing almost like 4,000 or 5,000 damage after your third or fourth shot. So I don't know. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't the one gun that had that issue was the Heretic. The Heretic used to be able to shoot pop, pop, right back to back. That was the gun that had that issue. It wasn't the Rush. It wasn't the Trial. Those guns weren't fast enough to pull that off. They weren't. That's just through playing, and that's what I saw. But hey, man. Nerf, 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 and nerf. Finally, the triplane. They gave it at least 2 bullets back, so it's not just a vanilla wafer of a gun. Shot clip size has been doubled. Ammo pickup, I guess. Art Mandrill, nerf, nerf. But the Art Mandrill though, with those 14 shots that it hits you with, yeah, I could use a nerf. It's deadly. Clip size, come on, man. What is this? Now you got 2 shots with it? What's the Art Mandrill? A rocket launcher? It's a mortar now? Then how are you nerfing its damage? Like, I don't understand how you get rid of clip size and damage at the same time. I don't get that concept. If you're gonna get rid of clip size, damage increases. It's the only fair thing to do. This doesn't make sense. Whatever. That's what I'm saying, man. The nerfs don't make sense. The idea is not to make a gun feel like trash. The idea is not to make a gun become garbage. The idea is to make the gun become balanced. That's not balanced. That's over nerfing. You're getting rid of its damage and you're reducing its clip size to half. It didn't have a clip size of 30. The Wraith. If that bullet scatter nonsense is still there, it's utterly useless to me. I don't know, man. You might have to use it with a Ring of the Veil. Wait, Ring of the Veil goes primary? Damn, that sucks. Oh, you'll have to use it with Current's Cache. That should help. That should give you more ammo. Maybe get it up to 3. The thoughts. Yeah, I'm just not one of them. I will never adopt the Wraith until it stops doing that stupid X shot, Y shot, X shot, Y shot, X shot, Y shot crap. No. I'll never play it. And they think it's a high DPS weapon. I ain't afraid of no damn Wraith player. I crush those guys daily. Those guys were never like, oh god, a guy has a Wraith, I better run. I run at him with every build. They're not dangerous. Now, if you're talking about freaking Code of Fusion Constant, they're more dangerous than the Wraith. So, I don't know. We'll see. I cannot get... I know NKL says that it's really good for Vanguard. I can't get it to work for me. Because it just doesn't do what I think it's supposed to be doing. It's not generating health quick enough that if somebody's blasting me for like 400 or 500 per shot or more, that gun's gonna regenerate health that's gonna help me. And then I gotta get super close to you. And if I'm not perfectly manually aiming, I'm getting X's and Y's, and 30% of my shots are just going to the left or to the right or crossing by the guy. Like, that's some stupid nonsense. If they got rid of that, maybe, but it lost like 3 meters of range. So, that gun, I'm not even used to it. Sniper rifles. So, every time you fire a sniper rifle, before you can use your heavy, there's a half-second pause. All of them. At least they gave the Naked Siren back way more ammo than it needed. It used to be 8. They brought it back. They pushed it to 9. And they just jacked that damage up, boy. They jacked it up something fierce. That gun is like, wow, lots of damage. But they nerfed the Prodigal. They nerfed the Lumia Prodigal. They nerfed the Objection. At least the Objection got an extra bullet. That's always welcome. And I still don't see the difference between the Lumia Prodigal and the Prodigal, besides one having slightly longer range and one having slightly longer reactivation delay. If you look at their numbers, they're almost like 80. Like now they're like almost 80 apart. Like, what the hell? One doesn't feel like it's a Lumia weapon anymore. They're like damn near the same gun. It's barely any damage. Yeah, it might be back to that. But I don't understand also the concept that a sniper rifle can't one-shot, one-kill people. It's a sniper rifle. So you think in real life when you're using a sniper rifle, they want you to take 2 shots to kill people? I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, it depends how these things play. But yeah, that's some weird stuff, in my opinion. But it's just they nerfed a lot of stuff. Trinkets has got a major overhaul. Everything behaves a little bit differently. Like the belt of phasing shield is a lot more than it used to be. And it lasts as long as protection does. Bracelet of the Firstborn is pretty interesting. It's a pretty good support ability now once you go into Primal. So Bracelet of the Firstborn and Torden is really good. While in Primal form, 5 to 7% of the damage you deal heals ally. Now if you got a Torden that's dropping like 10,000 and then it's healing 5 to 7%, all my stuff is 20, so I'm at the high number. So I'm healing 7% of 10,000, so it's like 700 per shot if I can hit something. That's kind of neat. Bracelet of Dedication grants kills 5 to 7% damage, stacking 5 times. You can get up to 35%, because that's where I'm at. Stacks are lost upon death. So the stacks are there as long as you're alive. Wow. Wow, that's pretty freaking strong. Like if you don't die, you have that stack for good. So if you have one of those lights out game, then you go 45 kills and your kill streak's 45. When you hit the 5th kill, You're doing 35% more damage all the time for the rest of the game. That's disgusting. That's just nasty. Nasty, nasty. Clemency vow. You become invulnerable upon getting to half damage. So if you get hit, it doesn't just activate. You have to have under 50 but had energy to survive, and then it activates, and then you're invincible for a second. Level 20 again, right? And then it's basically protection without doing nothing. Upon taking damage, it refreshes after 60 to 45 seconds. 45 seconds again, because mine's level 20. It's not bad. That's pretty strong. Compass of the Ascendant, about picking on crystals. Reduction of oncoming damage for 14 to 20 seconds. Nice. Running gun is changed to Warforge. Whatever. I think Warforge is constantly working even when you're fighting or not. So interesting. Empathy band regenerates shield for 560. Mine's level 20.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Here's what
we don't care, John. Be quiet. So it regenerates at one. This is actually pretty neat, man. That's a much better version of whatever it had. You used to have to roll next to people to give them a shield for 0.2, 0.4 seconds. I didn't know what that was doing. It was kind of useless. Exhortation Talisman hits where revealed enemies are. They deal. It's basically weakness bomb as a trinket. That's a neat passive. I kind of like that. That's pretty neat. If you hit somebody and you're wearing that thing, that's another good support item. And now it makes sense as a support item. It's actually pretty good. That and Bracelet of the Firstborn, those are pretty neat. It depending what your support people are trying to do. So that means like you use Exhortation Talisman with Frost Bomb. That thing has good range and got a good splash area. You can open up the whole map real good. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. If you're having a lights out game, man, you have 35% more damage the whole time you're playing. In human form anyway. That's a lot. Does it, like, if you go primal and come back out, you still keep your 35 because you didn't die? That's a lot of damage. That's a lot. That's pretty freaking impressive. Evasion loop. Gave an extra charge, but the cooldown is increased by 30 to 15%. 15% for me. Again, level 20. Running gun trait is now Tinkerer. Not the worst thing it could be. Evasion loop is Vanguard, so it will make your heal come out quicker. Once those things can go up past common, could actually be useful. Like if you have a Tinkerer on your ability and you have a Tinkerer there, that gets you like maybe to 20%, which is still better than what we have right now, 20 haste. Yeah, I think it's gonna be refreshes after or upon getting a kill. Yeah, that seems broken to me. Like you read it and you just like, I'm not even playing it. And when I read it, I'm like, isn't that broken? They're like, nah, you'll see, it's not that bad. All the other stuff looks stronger. But I'm like, nah, that sounds broken. Who needs protection when you got this thing? You get one kill. It's ready to go again. Yeah, I think so. And if you have support banner on top of it, it's a lot. Yeah, we'll see. This is interesting. 15% more? So it's like a 2 point something, like a 2.3 cooldown or something. Like it's just gonna make your takes a little bit longer than 2 seconds to get your stuff back. Max ammo increased by 60 to 100%. So you really need Kieran's Cache if you're playing Ort Mandrill. What choice do you have? It took away your ammo. And now if you pick up heavy crystals, you get heals. It's interesting. Kindred class, finally something useful. If you're within allied primals, you're fast. And you're regenerating health. And it's persistent for 2.8 seconds after you leave. Again, mine's level 20, so everything is always the highest number or the lowest number, depending on what is better. Nullam Guard increases your damage by 25% for 28 seconds upon killing a hero. And if you have it to level 5, it's at 30. But the Bracer of Dedication is consistently 35 after your 5th kill, as long as you don't die. I'm not sure what this is used for. I don't see how that's useful. Maybe it's Primalist Banner? I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see how that's better. No. What would happen is, I think you'd have to take damage again. Like, it doesn't just pop again while you're under 50. You'd have to basically get damaged again, and whatever you have. So let's say if you had a quarter health, you'd have to lose a half, 50% of that quarter? Or would you have to go back to full, and then when it drops below 50 again is the time it activates? That's the stuff I'm not sure about. Yeah, but if I'm having a lights out game and I don't die, it happens. There are games that I've played with real people and I never die. There are games I played against real people and they never died. If they're using Bracer of Dedication, 35% all the time, and you didn't count the Paragon stack. You didn't count the Mega Kill, the Omega Kill. You didn't count the Deca. You're not counting any of the extra buffs that they get. And then the double damage buff. There are people who play games. I've played against them. And I've binned them every once in a while. You never die. That's crazy. 35 consistently. And if you never died, that means you're a Paragon forever. So you got the Paragon boost. If you didn't die and you got yourself a Deca kill, you got the Deca kill boost. Like, really though? For a consistent 20 for 20 to 28 seconds. How's that better? It's not. It's really not. Ring of the Veil reduces your cooldown by 20 to 30 seconds upon killing a hero. Allah, what are you talking? I think you're right. I really believe you might be able to do that. That is crazy, but yeah, it might be, because the Nege Sirens just got like chunky strong for no good reason. Like, that thing could get up to like 16 easy. It could be hitting like a freaking, like the way oh wow, it's gonna be hitting. It could actually hit harder than a freaking Lumia Prodigal. Ugh, that's not neat. Prepare for some chunky builds, people. Because if you play your sniper right, or if you're playing part sniper and you're using that bracer, man, I think it would better. I think one of them should give ammo back, because that's crazy. That's a really strong boost.